Welcome to Iraqi Dinar Update, your go-to source for the latest news, expert insights, and real-time developments on Iraq's currency, economy, and financial reforms. Whether you're a long-time investor or just curious about the dinar, you're in the right place. In my opinion, the lower denomination banknotes are already positioned carefully at the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, ready and waiting for the appropriate moment to be released into circulation. These smaller notes, which are crucial for day-to-day transactions, are not sitting there randomly or by accident. Their placement is strategic. The CBI has a detailed plan in place, one that involves distributing these notes only to specific banks that have been thoroughly vetted and are deemed trustworthy. These banks are not just randomly selected. They have been carefully chosen based on a number of factors, including compliance with financial regulations, their stability, their adherence to international standards, and their loyalty to the broader objectives of Iraq's monetary reform. These selected banks are those that have obtained proper licenses and are fully authorized by the central bank to operate under the new regulatory environment that Iraq is building. This regulatory environment demands transparency, anti-money laundering compliance, counter-terrorist financing measures, and the capability to integrate with new digital platforms that the CBI is rolling out as part of its modernization efforts. The selection process for these banks has likely been ongoing for years, as Iraq has struggled to bring its banking sector up to international standards. Not every bank will qualify. Only the ones that meet the rigorous criteria set forth will be trusted with the responsibility of distributing the new lower denominations. Once these banks are fully prepared, the distribution will not be confined to their teller windows or traditional banking services. It will extend outward into the broader public infrastructure. A major component of this infrastructure will be the ATMs, automated teller machines, which will be retooled or replaced if necessary to handle the new lower denominations. The ATM system, which is still developing in Iraq, will play a crucial role. ATMs will allow for the seamless dispensing of smaller notes to the public without overwhelming bank branches with in-person cash withdrawal demands. This in and out cash flow through ATMs will ensure that the new currency enters circulation smoothly and methodically, allowing Iraqis to naturally incorporate the new notes into their daily financial activities. In addition to the banks and the ATMs, another important channel for the distribution of the lower denominations will be the exchange centers. These are the official currency exchange businesses that have been licensed by the government to operate legally. Just like the banks, only those exchange centers that have proven themselves trustworthy, stable, and in full compliance with the new regulations will be involved in the process. They will serve as vital hubs for currency movement, particularly for individuals and businesses that need to convert larger sums of money, receive remittances, or conduct transactions that require the use of various denominations. Exchange centers already play an important role in Iraqi daily life, especially in an economy that has traditionally been heavily cash-based, and their role will become even more critical during this transition. The ultimate objective behind all of this preparation, distribution, and regulation is to enhance the purchasing power of the Iraqi citizen. When lower denomination notes are properly available, people can conduct everyday transactions more easily, buying groceries, paying for services, making change, without having to deal with the complications that arise when only larger denominations are in circulation. When only high-value notes are available, it can create inflationary pressures at the street level because vendors find it difficult to provide exact change and may simply round prices upward. The availability of small denominations promotes price stability, fosters economic confidence, and supports an environment where real value is respected at every level of transaction. Moreover, increasing the purchasing power of the average Iraqi citizen means much more than just making small purchases easier. It signifies the strengthening of the entire economy. When people can rely on the currency in their pockets to maintain its value and to function properly in everyday exchanges, it encourages savings, stimulates small business growth, and reduces the public's reliance on alternative currencies like the US dollar, which has often been a fallback in Iraq during times of instability. This shift toward a more functional, stable national currency supports Iraq's broader goals of economic independence, sovereignty, and modernization. Patience is crucial during this process because the CBI and the Iraqi government are walking a very fine line. If they move too quickly, they risk overwhelming a fragile banking system and causing confusion among a public that has endured decades of currency instability. If they move too slowly, they risk missing key economic opportunities and losing public confidence in the reform process. Every step must be measured, calibrated, and synchronized with broader economic developments. The distribution of lower denominations is not simply about moving stacks of paper from a vault into people's wallets. It is about nurturing trust, both domestically and internationally. Iraq has also been making progress in setting up new digital payment systems, encouraging the use of cards, online banking, and mobile money applications. These digital tools will complement the introduction of the lower denominations, allowing people to manage their finances more efficiently. Over time, as trust in the banking system grows, there will be less reliance on cash and more reliance on electronic money, which is safer, more convenient, and easier to regulate. But that transition will not happen overnight, and during the intermediate phase, physical cash, especially in the form of lower denomination notes. Thus, when we say that the lower notes are sitting pretty at the CBI, what we are really saying is that they are carefully poised, waiting for the right conditions to be unleashed into an economy that has been painstakingly prepared to receive them. Their distribution will be selective, strategic, and methodical, flowing through trusted, licensed banks, through secure ATMs, through regulated exchange centers, and ultimately into the hands of everyday Iraqi citizens. And when that happens, it will not just be a technical monetary adjustment. It will be a profound milestone in Iraq's economic renaissance. The Iraqi people will find that their currency works for them, that it respects their efforts, that it supports their ambitions. The introduction of the lower denominations will not be the end of Iraq's monetary reform journey, but it will be a pivotal turning point, one that signals the country's readiness to reclaim its rightful place in the global economy, fueled by the purchasing power and trust of its own people. Thanks for tuning into Iraqi Dinar Update. If you found this content helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat on Iraq's evolving financial landscape. Stay informed and stay ready.